everybody, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing really well. I'm speaking a little bit quieter because Lawson is napping just next door and I don't want to wake him up. He only took like, how long did he take to get down? About 15 minutes today, so I'm like, yes. Anywho, today's video is a video that I've wanted to do for quite a while, but I've waited until I have felt, I don't know, like a bit of clarity over how I feel about it. So I wanted to talk to you guys today about returning to work after maternity leave, because I don't know, it's a mixed bag of emotions. And I remember when I was pregnant I did a video called, is it like career versus family or something like that, and I kind of like put forward how I felt at that time, and now I kind of wanted to update you on how I'm feeling and how I have been feeling, and yeah, just give you like a bit of an update really on my kind of stance on returning to work after maternity leave. So I'll give you a bit of background first of all. I currently work as a teaching assistant. I love my job so much. I get to help secondary school kids who might find learning a little bit more difficult than others, and yeah, I just love it. That's a bit of background. I got pregnant and like on maternity leave, or like on the run up to maternity leave, I was still really enjoying my job and had full intentions of going back really. I thought, oh, like, you know, once I have the baby I can just have like 8 or 9 months off and then go back, but probably part-time. I was thinking probably about 3 days a week, and yeah, it'll be awesome. And then Lawson was born and everything kind of changes, doesn't it? Like, your whole world becomes this tiny human being. And I think for probably the first, I don't know, about 5 months, so this is only very recently that I've started to change, so for the first 5 months of his life I have been getting so worked up about the thought of going back to work and the thought of leaving my little boy. I remember crying to my mum, and like when he was about 3 months old, and just being like, I can't leave him, I physically can't do it, like I love him too much, how could I ever leave him? And yeah, that went on for about 5 months. I think 5.5 months was the last time that I cried about it, and that was during a night feed. I think night feeds are always more emotional. I always set a boundary in place now, in case any of you guys get emotional at night feeds as well. This is like a little tip. I've set myself a little boundary now that I don't think about deep things during night feeds, because you're tired, you're hormonal anyway, you're emotional, and it's just not the best time to be thinking about life in general or like making big decisions. It's not a good time. So now I kind of ban myself in night feeds from thinking about anything kind of deep or that might upset me. I just don't think about it. So yeah, I think 5.5 months was the last time I properly cried about it before I made that decision that I wasn't gonna get emotional during night feeds anymore. Something changed then about when he was about 6.5 months old, so maybe like just about a month ago really, like very recently. Something just started to change, and I began to notice that actually, I hate to admit it, but I'm getting a bit bored at home. Like, it's not that Lawson bores me or that I'm bored by him or anything like that, but I don't know, just the same old kind of routine, the same old toys, the same play. I don't know, I felt like I was starting to get itchy feet, and I felt like I was thinking, I don't know, I could do something more now. And it was a very sudden switch actually, and it was during that time where I was having quite a difficult time with him, like, yeah, about 3 or 4 weeks ago. And I was thinking, oh no, I hope I'm not feeling this because I'm just going through like a bit of a hard time with him. I hope it is me kind of getting ready to transition back. And now he's kind of come out of that difficult phase and he's back to like being his normal gorgeous dream baby self. And I still kind of feel like that. I still kind of feel like, yeah, I could do something more now. And honestly, when my baby was 3 months old, I would never have thought that I would be saying this. I would never thought that I would be ready to go back to work. I never thought that I would even want to go back to work. Like I was literally like planning around not going back and how we'd manage financially. Like I was doing all sorts of plans like that. And then yeah, something to switch. So I wanted to use that as an encouragement really. Like if anyone is feeling like they're dreading going back to work, or they, I don't know, they just hate the thought of leaving their babies. Like if you're anything like me, I mean it doesn't happen for everyone obviously, but like it can change, and you might get to that point one day where you're like, actually I could go back to work now, I could do something else that's for me, for my time. And yeah, so I'll bring you up to present day. I went into work on Monday of this week. I'm going back in officially in about a month, but I wanted to kind of, I've asked if I can phase myself back in and do a few mornings, a few afternoons, just kind of gradually ease myself into it, because the last thing I wanted to do was rock up on the 5th of June and be just an emotional mess and be no good to anyone. It's pretty important to me that I'm good at my job, and yeah, I just didn't want to turn up and just be like no use to anyone. So yeah, I think phasing myself back into it is like the best decision I've made. And Monday of this week was my first morning at work, and yeah, it was okay. Like I dropped Lawson off with Emma, my sister-in-law, who looked after him so well. Like she sent me little updates like every half hour. She was amazing. It was actually okay. Like I dropped him off and I had a little cry in the car. Like I got a bit emotional about just, I don't know, just leaving him and hoping that he wouldn't play up for Emma. When I got to work, I was like fine. It was kind of like I'd never been gone. I kind of wanted to just get straight back into it and get straight back into working with kids and talking with like my department and having meetings and things. So yeah, it was a really good morning actually, that kind of helped me get over my fear and my dread of going back. Now my work have been really amazing, and they are letting me come back 2 days a week, which I know doesn't sound like a lot, and to be honest, emotionally that's all I can handle, I think, at the moment. Like I still have that thing where I don't want to leave Lawson, and I've been very, very lucky in the fact that my work have let me come back 2 days a week, and I feel like it's just going to be such a lovely balance, because I'm going to get 2 days a week where I can like sit and have adult conversation that doesn't revolve around poo in nappies and like drink a coffee by myself and have a bit of space, and I think that's going to be really, really good for me. And then I've still got 3 days a week where I'm with Lawson and we can do our baby groups still and go on walks still, which is like one of my favourite things to do with him. And then we have obviously our family days at the weekend. So yeah, I think for now I feel like that's going to be a really good balance for me. But I just wanted to use this video as like a little encouragement really. If any of you are on maternity leave currently and are dreading going back to work, my first encouragement would be that it can change, and it can change. I'm not promising that it will, but yeah, for me something changed, and I feel like I'm in like a, I don't know, emotionally stable enough place that I can go back. And then yeah, like a second little tip is to maybe, if your work will allow you to, kind of phase yourself back in. Because that's helping me loads. I've only done it once, but it's helping me just take the dread off of that like one date where you're definitely going back and you have to be there. Like on Monday I knew that if I got there and I was an emotional mess, I didn't actually have to be there, I could just leave. Thankfully I wasn't, but I gave myself that option and I'm really pleased that I did. So yeah, just like a little tip there, if you wanted to do something like that, I found it really, really useful and helpful. And yeah, so I will keep updating you as like time goes on. I write quite a lot about it on my Instagram, so make sure you're following me there. I'll leave the link down below. I hope you found this little video helpful. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you're doing well. Leave me a little comment down below if you found this helpful, or if you've got any advice for me for going back or anything that helped you guys, then yeah, please leave me a little comment and let me know. I'd love to hear from you. And yeah, click like button if you liked it, and subscribe if you want to hear more of my videos, and I will see you very soon, guys. Bye!